India is politicizing and even weaponizing sports, and the ICC is behaving more like Indian Cricket Council than International Cricket Council. "6-0. This is what Haris Rauf was penalized for, but why? What's the significance and was it such a big deal? The current controversy during Asia Cup didn't start with a 6 or a wicket, but with a deliberate breach of sporting etiquette and a clear political statement from the Indian side. In their recent group stage match, the Indian team, led by captain Surya Kumar Yadav, famously refused to participate in the traditional handshake at the toss, and again after the game. This foundational gesture of sportsmanship and respect was deliberately discarded, and the gentleman's game was no more a gentleman's game. Yadav then made the political motive even clearer by dedicating Indian victory to the victims of the Pahalgam terror attack and the Indian Armed Forces. The Pakistan Cricket Board swiftly filed a complaint, arguing this clearly breached ICC rules against bringing politics into the game. This decision by the Indian team to politicize the match, starting with the refusal of a handshake, sets a dangerous precedent. It forces players on both sides to act as political proxies rather than purely as athletes, fundamentally altering the spirit of the game. The ICC match referee Richie Richardson ultimately found Surya Kumar Yadav guilty of breaching the code of conduct, fining him 30% of his match fee for his remarks. This verdict in itself confirmed the political nature of his comments. Now let's talk about fairness. The ICC's ruling on these latest incidents reveal a troubling history of inconsistent application of its own code of conduct, a pattern that seems to favor powerful board like the BCCI. MS Dhoni sported the army insignia, the Balidan badge, on his wicket-keeping gloves. This was clear military political symbolism. What was the ICC's response? He was merely reprimanded and asked to remove it. No financial penalty, no suspension, a remarkably soft approach compared to the immediate fine imposed on Haris Rauf. In 2019, the entire Indian team wore army caps during an ODI against Australia to pay tribute to the Pulwama martyrs. The BCCI claimed they had prior permission from the ICC. This event effectively established a precedent, allowing the Indian team to make strong military political statements on the field without consequence, a stark contrast to how Pakistani players are treated. Let's not forget Virat Kohli's infamous middle finger gesture to the crowd during the 2012 Sydney Test. This was a clear act of offensive conduct towards the spectators. What was the outcome? He was fined 50% of his match fee. While a fine was issued, the nature of this gesture and the subsequent lenient punishment for other Indian acts raises questions about the hierarchy of offences in the ICC's eyes. This pattern of ICC intervention extends far beyond the subcontinent. In 2023, Australian batter Usman Khawaja was banned from displaying "freedom is a human right" on his shoes, while England's Moeen Ali faced similar restrictions in 2014 for wearing Save Gaza wristbands. Most notably, Zimbabwe's Andy Flower and Henry Olonga wore black armbands protesting the death of democracy during the 2003 World Cup, a gesture that effectively ended both their international careers. Yet when Harbhajan Singh was accused of racially abusing Andrew Symonds in the Monkeygate scandal, India's threat to abandon the tour forced the ICC to overturn his 3-match ban. Now let's compare that to Haris Rauf. This fast bowler was fined 30% of his match fee for signalling 6-0 and making downed aircraft gestures towards the Indian fans. While these actions were provocative, they came in a response to heckling and are being judged harshly. Sahibzada Farhan was only issued a warning for mimicking a gunshot celebration after his 50. We understand he reportedly cited similar aggressive celebrations by Indian stars like Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni as precedents. Yet he was still sanctioned while past Indian instances went unpunished. Similarly, Asif Ali celebrated with a gunshot gesture after hitting a winning 6 against Afghanistan's all-rounder Kareem Jannat in a group stage match during the 2021 T20 World Cup. Yet the ICC never took an action.
They have too much power. I do not believe any country should be able to dictate to the rest of the world.
This was West Indian cricket legend Michael Holding describing the BCCI back in 2011. The evidence is compelling. Indian players have historically engaged in politically or aggressively motivated on-field acts with minimal or inconsistent penalties. Yet a Pakistani player like Haris Rauf is immediately fined for a reactive gesture. This suggests a glaring double standard applied by the ICC. Cricket is about skill, passion, and rivalry. Yes, but also about respect and sportsmanship. When politics are allowed to dictate handshakes, celebrations, and even the narrative around a historic final, we all lose.